You're listening to Pombo and Peter's Picks, the home of your favorite sports betting podcast. Presented by The Daily Goat.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Pombo and Peter's Picks. I'm Jason Pombo, joined as always by Peter Alves. Peter, how we doing?
How we doing? Week 1 starts today to the NFL season. It's gonna be a long grind. Gonna hate myself. Probably week 15. Well, probably like last year. We'll power through. But I'm hyped for the NFL.
The NFL season is, I told you, this is like Christmas for me. I'm very happy. We had college football last week, which we'll talk about shortly. And like Peter said, NFL football kicks off tonight. The Rams, defending Super Bowl champions, are going to host the Buffalo Bills as the opening NFL game. And we had a whole Sunday slate of games that we're going to get into. We have a Monday night football game. So NFL is back. Football is here. And look, it's been a long offseason. I feel like this offseason for the NFL I feel like it was pretty impactful. We saw a lot of player movement in terms of quarterbacks. I felt like the NFL draft was interesting. We had a lot of contract negotiations. We had a lot of stuff. And I felt like it was a pretty jam-packed offseason, but I'm glad it's over and I'm ready for some football.
Right? NFL is king.
NFL is king, Peter. But like I said, before we get into the NFL, let's just touch on college football last week. Peter, we had Brandon Carr on of Roughing the Basket to preview and predict college football. And this past Saturday was college football week number 1. The week prior was college football week 0, but everyone played in week 1. And I don't know if you caught any of the games, Peter, but it was exciting. I watched a lot of college football. None of my parlays hit. So that was unfortunate. But
do you bet on something else?
I'll read you my parlay if I have it in front of me. I bet Ole Miss. I don't have it in front of me. Ole Miss, the spread. I think they were minus 17.5 or 19.5, something like that. And Peter, you can go look at their second half drives. They had turnovers after turnovers, and they could not cover, and I was very upset. And then the other part of that parlay was Kentucky. I think I hit that one, but it didn't matter because of the Ole Miss. Then I did another parlay. I did the Boston College spread. BC lost to Rutgers. And then I did UCLA, of course, their spread against Bowling Green, and UCLA covered. So 0-for-2 on my college football parlays, and that was unfortunate. But in particular, Peter, I think one of the best games probably of the college football season might have happened this past Sunday, and it was LSU Florida State. Did you see how that game ended?
I did.
Crazy with the whole missed extra point, the muffed punt. It was Brian Kelly's first game as the head coach at LSU, and I'm sure it has LSU fans pretty pissed off because, look, you got to win that game against Florida State. Florida State is not the program it used to be. That was a tough loss. I also really enjoyed the Florida-Utah game. Carr came on the show and said Utah was going to make the college football playoff, and they had a tough loss against Florida. Now, it doesn't necessarily eliminate them from the college football playoff, but it absolutely makes their journey a lot harder. Trying to think any other games stick out?
Ohio State beat Notre Dame 21-10. Watch that all through. It's pretty good.
I wasn't impressed with Ohio State.
No, I wasn't either. Really They're a high-power offense. Where is it?
21 points, and CJ Stroud, his Heisman odds went down. I think he was, what did we say, was plus 220, and I think he's now plus 365.
That makes sense. I mean, Bryce Young put up 55 points on Phil on the team, 55-0.
I think it was Utah State.
Yeah, that doesn't really count, but
I was surprised about Ohio State. I thought they were going to blow the doors off Notre Dame. I thought they were going to win by 20, 21, if I were to guess, and they really 21 points was not, I think, the offensive performance that everybody was expecting. They have all the high-powered offense in terms of their receivers. Like, who's your guy? You like the Marvin Harrison Jr. guy, right?
Yeah.
That was your guy? So, and CJ Stroud, I mean, he looked okay, but I'd be a little concerned, just a little bit. Because, again, don't read into this too much, but Michigan looked awfully good. Now, of course, they played Colorado State, who is a borderline D1 program, but they looked dominant, and Ohio State didn't. I understand the talent discrepancy, but
Clemson did as well. They faced a no-name too, but
Georgia Tech
looks good.
Yeah, Clemson in the first half, they were They didn't look great, but then they rallied in the second half, and I believe they covered. I'm not sure. It was close. But yeah, your guy Ukulele, he struggled in the first half, but he kind of played a
Oh,
little
we
bit better in the second half.
kind of cursed them, so it's all
Yeah,
right.
we did put the curse on him. And then, of course, Georgia, they ended up beating Oregon. They kicked the crap out of Oregon,
Yeah,
huh?
it was like 50-3, right? Or
Yeah.
something
Oh
like
my
that.
God, they killed him. And Bo Nix, the quarterback of Oregon, the transfer from Auburn, he didn't look good. Georgia looked like they were the best team in the country, the defending champions. And maybe we kind of underrated them. I felt like a lot of our college football preview, we spoke at great lengths about
But
how
we still haven't
Ohio
made the
State and
tournament.
Bama.
Like
Yeah,
3-4.
but I feel like we said it was like Ohio State, Bama, Gap,
Yeah. And then
Georgia,
everybody
and
else.
then yeah. So I think we might have underplayed how good Georgia is. Stetson Bennett, their quarterback, look, he doesn't necessarily he doesn't have the size, the arm strength, or any of the attributes that we see from these other programs, but he gets the job done. He wins.
And
He's
I
going to be
wanted
an interesting case heading into the draft, and I don't know when he's eligible, if he's even on anyone's radar, but he's an interesting candidate because he's one of those guys that always wins, sort of like AJ McCarron was at Bama coming out. Like doesn't really have the traits, but just wins.
like Tua. I
Another
want
one,
to. Yeah,
Jake Fromm was another one came to mind. I love Jake Fromm. I thought he was gonna.
it's gonna be an next Josh Allen. I thought he's
Yeah.
gonna be better than Josh Allen.
Who, Jake Fromm?
Yeah,
I liked him in college. What do you fall in the fourth or fifth round?
he was on the Bills, right?
Yeah, Bills drafted him, but I believe he got cut. Maybe I'm
Yeah, I don't
wrong.
think
Or
he's on that team.
yeah, he moved to the practice squad. Or I know Case Keenum's the backup over there, but yeah, tough for Jake Fromm. Any other college football points you want to hit on? Pat McAfee's going to be on ESPN's College Game Day. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, TJ might be crying. I think he's leaving WWE for a while.
Yeah, he is. So I guess on his show he talked about it, and he's like, "Look, I was down to do both." So he typically does SmackDowns, which is Friday nights, and of course, College Game Day is Saturdays, Saturday mornings. So it would have been difficult to kind of do the red eye flight every single week. So apparently WWE was just like, we're not going to put you through that. We're not going to put your family through that. Just come back when College Game Day's done and by like whatever it is, January.
I
So
mean,
I
Pat
thought that was
McAfee.
interesting.
Yeah, Pat McAfee is the best in the business.
He would have did it though. He would have
Oh
did
yeah,
it in my
no, he
opinion.
definitely
Yeah,
would.
he would have did it, and it felt like ESPN probably didn't have an issue with him because they hired him for that specific role and they didn't tell him to quit WWE. So
And he
I mean,
probably asked. I don't even know who's in charge anymore. It's not Vince McMahon, but he probably asked him
Triple
before he
H.
took that job. Yeah, Triple H. Yeah,
Yeah, and look, I mean, he was. I mean, I'm not the biggest wrestling fan, but like everyone loves him.
yeah, everyone does love him.
Yeah, I love McAfee. Yeah, and Game Day, that's the go-to for me if I'm watching that kind of stuff. So I'm excited to see what he can bring to the table.
One
Right,
last college football point.
bring it.
Houston, the team that I put fourth plus whatever. Karma.
5,000, I think
Yeah, they all won in overtime. I don't watch one look of that game, but
they won.
yeah, they
You
won
know
in
what?
overtime. I don't even know who UTSA is, but yeah.
Look, Carver comes at you, say, look, Car, you had Utah as your number 4 seed. I had Houston. Utah lost. Houston won. There it is. Peters, Houston is still alive. The Cougars, one more week. See if
Yeah,
they keep going.
they're ranked 25 in the country.
Yeah, they'll move up. They'll move up a couple spots. All right, Peter, let's transition to some NFL football. This is probably one of my most excited shows for the year for me. I love doing the weekly game picks. We have a clean slate, Peter. Matt has cleared the record book. It is now 0-0-0 for our NFL picks this coming year. That's good. I felt like that was a good thing to do because not to brag, Peter, but you were off to a slow start and it was tough for you to make up.
It's so true. I was under 500 for a long time.
Yeah, but it don't matter anymore. You are cleared slate 0-0-0 for both of us. So for this show, we're going to give you 5 picks against the spread, along with 1 survivor pick. If you're in a survivor pool, if you're in a work survivor pool, I know Peter's doing one for his mother. So yeah, that's some good stuff. We're going to give you all those in this show. Along with our premium pick of the week, we're going to get back to doing that. Peter, I feel like you were pretty good in the premium picks. I used to suck at those. Like I feel like I'd be 4-1, but I'd be 0-1 on my premium pick. So maybe
How far did we get with Survivor last year? Obviously we lost.
yeah, we'd have to go in the Matt Cooney archives for
Yeah,
it.
I don't remember. I don't even know who was better. Unless
I
we
don't
got out the
remember
same week.
either.
I don't even
We
remember.
might have got out the same week, but I tell you, week one is always the most difficult week because you kind of
I don't like
look.
this board at all.
I
Versus
don't
survivor
either.
pick.
I don't either. I mean, would you want to do the survivor pick last or first? What would you prefer?
We can do it first since we're talking
Do it
about it.
first. All right, yeah. So, Peter, why don't you give me yours?
Yeah, so I don't like this board at all because I usually don't like picking road teams, and they're all road teams. Except the Titans versus the Giants, and I don't want to pick the Titans over the Giants. So I have the Colts over the Houston Texans. Twice they faced last year. One game that sticks out was like 41-0. So I think the Colts can beat the Texans. I don't like any of the other thing. I mean, Ravens versus Jets, that should be easy. I mean, the sneaky game that everyone's gonna get out on, I think the Bears are gonna beat the 49ers in week one.
Ooh,
I think it's gonna be the Jags 2 years ago. The Bears are gonna win week one and
ooh.
then just because that was my first inclination, and then it's like, no, can't do that.
Yeah, Peter, I second you. I'm not a big fan of this board either. I don't like, especially in sports betting or survivor pool, whatever you want to call it, betting like road favorites. I mean, it's especially in division, it can get kind of dicey. And there's a lot of that in this board. So, like off the top, um, Falcons are big dogs at home against the Saints. Um, the Texans are big dogs at home against the Colts. Whom else am I forgetting? I know you mentioned the Niners Bears. That's not really in division, but the Vikings are underdogs against the Packers. Granted, that's a little bit of a closer spread. That's not really a touchdown or 6 points or anything like that. But moral of the story is there's a lot of road favorites this week, which is very it's different from what we're accustomed to. So I think this week is going to be a chaotic week. And Peter, I actually get a stat for you from the Action Network. In week one, there are 10 home underdogs. That's the most from an opening week since the NFL moved to a 16-game schedule in 1978.
Oh wow.
That's crazy, right? And you know what? Looking at this board, I get it. I fully, absolutely get that. I feel like we're kind of projecting and going against some of these home teams, and that's can be problematic. For me, I'm going to go different, Peter. I'm going to go with the Ravens over the Jets here. Zach Wilson's going to be out until at least week 4. Joe Flacco, I don't believe it's going to be his revenge game. And I feels like the Jets, to me, like they already have injuries to the offensive line. Joe Flacco didn't look good in the preseason. The Ravens, they're finally healthy. I think they're going to put some things together, and I like the Ravens to win this game. I think this one is going to be the one that I'm going to go with. Again, the Ravens are going to MetLife on the road. Don't love it, but I'm going to do it. I'll go with the Ravens.
Well, they usually beat up on terrible teams.
Yeah,
Like
and
always.
maybe I'd feel differently, Peter, if Zach Wilson was starting, but I don't think so. I think this is I like the Ravens in this spot. I feel like they're healthy.
I don't get what the Jets are doing. I don't know why they start Joe Flacco. I mean, he is a veteran. He can do stuff for the line.
Like Mike White.
But they're not. Well, I mean, he's not even on the team anymore.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah,
They got that other kid, but like
you liked Mike White.
They're not even trying to win. I feel like they're just trying to float.
Yeah, it's so Robert Saleh is in a difficult. He's in a difficult position because look, the Jets, of course, have struggled for years upon years now. They draft a quarterback who, in theory, they like. He gets hurt in preseason, avoided a major injury, so you have that going for you. But it feels to me they didn't address the offensive line as much as they should have. Becton's already out, shocker. So
Yeah, he's out for the year.
yeah, you like shocker. Like you couldn't have projected that. And then they got to overpay for who did they overpay to bring in? I don't even remember who was it. They gave someone $11 million to come in and play tackle. I forgot who it was. The name's escaping me, but whatever it was, they brought in someone to overpaid older tackle. They paid him like $11 million to just be a body there. I'm not in love with this Jets team at all. Like I think we both had him at like 4 or 5 wins. I'm not sure I'm a believer in Robert Saleh. And I know what I'm going to get from the Ravens. Last year, I know they were 8-9, but they had injuries across the board, whether it was J.K. Dobbins, Humphreys, whether it was Gus Edwards, Lamar Jackson was banged up. Like they had injuries throughout the entire roster, offensively, defensively. They were just banged up. And this year, fine. Look, they're healthy. I understand that there's some questions about receiver. They traded away Marquise Hollywood Brown. I like Bateman. I like James Prochet. I like those two guys in particular. Mark Andrews, of course, is still there, and I expect him to be a focal point in the offense. And I think Lamar Jackson is on a mission. Unless we're wrong, as we record this on Wednesday afternoon, Lamar Jackson has yet to receive a contract extension. He talked about in his post training camp interview today with the media that negotiations could go until Friday. So again, he still could resign, but let's just pretend he isn't re-signed. I think he's gonna be a man on a mission, and I think it's gonna start off with the Jets. I think they're gonna blow him out. I think they're gonna win like 42-10 or something.
Would not be surprised. Not be surprised.
And the Jets have won.
Yep. And then congrats on the Jets and the Houston Texans on winning their week 1 game. Nice.
Yep. All right. So Peter, let's get into our picks against the spread. So yeah, let's get into it. We're gonna give you 5 picks, Peter. I'll let you want to go 1-1. Do you want to give all your 5, my 5? How do you want to do it?
We can do 1-1.
1-1. All right, Peter. Floor is yours.
All right. First thing is Ravens -7. You said a lot of the things that I was gonna say, but yeah, I mean Joe Flacco, I don't think he's the answer. The only reason why I think he's starting is veteran presence and stuff you can do with the line, and maybe he knows the Ravens playbook. He was in there for a long time. But I think that Lamar Jackson and company are just going to wipe the floor. So,
all right, Peter, I'll stick with this too. I'm going to go Ravens -7. That's my survivor pick, and it's going to be my premium pick of the week. So I'm triple down on the Ravens,
nice.
Tripling up. So everything's on the Ravens. Like you said, Joe Flacco, backup quarterback here. Healthy Ravens team. This is a good spot for the Ravens. It's a good spot to really show the league that, hey, we're still here. Just because we didn't win the division last year, we're not out of the picture. Like, hey, Cincinnati Bengals, the AFC North isn't yours for the next decade. We're still here. So I like the Ravens here -7. Statement game, premium pick of the week, and survivor pick of the week. Boom.
Well, I'll triple down. I mean, my premium pick of the week, Colts -7, Colts survivor, and in this, I mean, like I said before, I think they're going to win it by a lot. Texans really have nobody. I mean, I love Dameon Pierce, but that's about it. I think they're gonna have a top 5 defense. Davis Mills might not be the answer. We'll see. I don't think they're expecting him to, but sorry, no. But
all right, so yeah, you're triple down in 2, huh? Look at that. Watch us both be wrong here.
Oh yeah.
For me, I'm gonna go with the game tonight. I'm gonna go with the Rams +2.5 over the Bills. So look, I feels like everyone, Peter. I don't know, have you seen everyone pick the Bills to win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, out of those 25
everybody.
experts, I think it was like 17 or something.
In all of NFL Network's crew, every single one of them, and I was listening to the Rich Eisen show on Wednesday, and he was just like, look, we don't know who each of us is going to pick. Like, it's all independent. We don't know. We all give our picks, and they all pick the Bills. I was looking at the Ringers predictions. 90% of them picked the Bills. ESPN, same thing. So I'm not saying the Bills are going to suck this year or anything, but it just feels like when everyone's picking the Bills, it usually doesn't end well. And it feels like everyone's picking the Bills to win this game. And the Rams, look, they just won the Super Bowl. They're underdogs. And I like them in this spot. Sean McVay in week 1. He's never lost. I believe he's like 6-0-1 or 4-0-1 against the spread in his career in week 1. I think the Rams are going to come in motivated here. Bills flying cross country. That's not an easy thing to do, especially when you're going to play in a Thursday game. And look, it feels like, again, from Action Sports Network, the Rams are the 6th Super Bowl champion listed as an underdog. And the last one that actually lost was 2018 Eagles. So everyone has covered or won since. So they're 4-1 against the spread in the same situation. So I like the Rams here, +2.5.
Yeah, and they're at home. They have the trophy thing. I like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I almost picked that. That was on my short list. Next one, 49ers -7. Bears are going to be the worst team in the NFL. They can't block for Justin Fields. When you watch any second of the preseason, he's gonna get killed. They have no receivers. They have Mooney. That's great. But I mean, if you're gonna start out N'Keal Harry out there, so
he's hurt. Don't worry. He's hurt.
Okay.
Eventually.
But eventually, yeah, I think they're gonna be the worst team in the NFL. So,
boom, simple as that. For me, I'm gonna go with an underdog here again. I'm gonna go Falcons +5.5 over the Saints. The Saints are another team that a lot of people are gravitating towards. Jameis Winston is healthy. Michael Thomas could play. The Saints are clearly more talented than the Falcons, right? I think we can both admit that. Marcus Mariota is going to make his first start with the Falcons. His first start in week 1 over the last, 3-4 years, whatever it is. The Falcons clearly have deficiencies other than Kyle Pitts, right? So the Falcons roster definitely does not match up with the Saints roster. But Peter, this is why I'm going to take the Falcons here. Falcons are at home. I like the Like I said before, I like the home in division underdogs. I feel like there's some good value there. First head coach for Dennis Allen. He's the new head coach of the Saints. So there could be a kind of learning curve there. Jameis Winston, his first game from that big gruesome injury for that ankle injury. So again, could he be limited? Could he not look like himself early on? I'm not saying the Saints are gonna lose this game, but I think the Falcons can cover. I think the Falcons can make this a 3-point game, muddy the game up, run the ball a lot, and I think the Falcons can make this a 3-point game. I like them Falcons plus 5.5.
I agree with that. I'll double down with you. Falcons plus 5.5. In this season predictions, I think I said they might be the worst team in the NFL. I want to retract that. I forgot they won like 7 games, and I feel like they're getting way disrespected.
Right?
Like their receiving core shouldn't be worse than last year. They didn't have Calvin Ridley at all. I mean Russell Gage, you can say he's worse than Drake London, and then still have Kyle Pitts, still have Cordell Patterson. They're not. I mean their defense. They have those 2 good cornerbacks.
Yeah. Yep.
So they shouldn't be as bad as I thought they were going to be. And 5.5 points are a lot of points, especially in division, as you said. So
Yeah. And look, I feel like I've been higher on the Falcons than most. And I don't want to overplay. Like, I think the Falcons are going to
well, you
win 10
put them
games.
as the over, I think.
Yeah, I did. I had them winning, I believe, 6. I think they can win 6 or 7 games. Like, I don't necessarily rule that out. I feel like I like Marcus Mariota more than some people. I also I think the Falcons secondary can be okay. I think that Drake London can kind of grow and evolve. So I think the Falcons can win some games. I don't think Arthur Smith is a complete train wreck as head coach. Like you said, they did okay last year, and especially an in-division game with brand new head coach, Jameis Winston coming back from an injury. Michael Thomas could be his first game in 2 years. Chris Olave's first career game. Like, it feels like there's a lot of newness with the Saints. Of course, Kamara's still there, and I know not much of the Saints playbook has changed because, of course, Dennis Allen just kind of his defensive coordinator is now his head coach. So it's not like it's a huge change, but there is some change there. So I think the Falcons can make this a close game.
I'm just
So
worried
I
about
like,
the Saints defense.
yeah,
They're still
and
doing it.
they're going on the road. It's tough to win in Atlanta on the road. And look, 5.5 is a lot of points for a division game where I feel like the Saints can be an 8 or 9, maybe a 10-win team. But like, I don't know. If they were playing the Bucks, I'd feel differently. But it's just I'm just not high on the Saints as a lot of other people. Some people think the Saints can win the division.
I know. I know somebody that bet that in real life.
Do you? I feel like
8-1. Yeah.
I don't want to put any words in anyone's mouth, but I thought maybe someone in Rough in the Basket picked them to win the division. Maybe I'm wrong. Not entirely sure.
Probably Noah.
So I could see someone. I don't know. Someone's really high in the Saints. I don't remember who it was. And I'm not saying I'm not high in the Saints. I'm just not as high as them. So, all right, Peter, who's up? Me or you?
I have one more.
Okay, I also have one more. So you. No, I have 2 more. So it's me. I am going to go with the Minnesota Vikings plus 1.5 over the Packers. Look, you won't find anyone higher on the Vikings than me. I had them coming out of the NFC. I think they're going to the Super Bowl. I think Kevin O'Connell is going to transform that Vikings offense, in which I feel like, especially because, look, Kevin O'Connell comes from the Sean McVay tree. He's going to implement that offense. And I think a guy like Justin Jefferson is really going to flourish in it. I think Kirk Cousins is going to find the right spot. I think the Vikings defense is going to be good enough in spurts, and I feel like they're going to be able to limit Aaron Rodgers. And look, Allen Lazard is questionable for the game. I believe he did not practice Wednesday due to a groin injury. And of course, the Packers receiving core is in transition. Of course, Devontae Adams is gone. Marquez Valdez-Scantling is gone. There has been some rumblings about frustration with the young Packers receivers. So I think this is a good spot for the Vikings at home. It feels like no one's really giving them a chance. And I could see the Packers to a slow start. Do you remember last year in week 1, they lost to the Saints like 38-3?
It did. And then they said Aaron Rodgers is over. I think it was like 3 interceptions. And
yeah. So I'm not saying it's going to be like that, but I like the Vikings here at home. New offense, everything fresh. And with the Packers team that is in a transition at the skill position. So yeah, I like the Vikings here plus 1.5.
I almost picked that too, but I'm just afraid Aaron Rodgers will just do Aaron Rodgers and just be like,
he might.
okay, it doesn't matter to anybody. Maybe like 40-0. But all right, my last pick. I have the Dolphins -3. There you go, Matt. There you go. Week
Does that
one
make up for
versus...
the Tua slander?
No, probably not. Because I'm gonna spin it this way. Watch. Week 1, I mean, versus the Patriots. They should mop the floor with the Patriots. I mean, Joe Judge, Matt Patricia, they don't know what they're doing. They went to Florida like 5 days early. Don't know why. They can't practice up here.
Catch some sun.
Yeah, for some sun. I mean, taking days off and humidity a few weeks ago, and it doesn't matter. But I mean, if you want to spin it the other way, Bill Belichick's had 4 months to prepare for one team. That's always good, but they can never win in Florida. And Tua should light the world on fire.
So if Tua does not win Sunday, are you out on Tua again? I think you've been out Tua.
I mean, if they won't,
you're out for the 4th time.
yeah, because
Okay.
listen, this game's gonna be important for seeding. I think they're gonna be competing for the last wildcard spot, Miami and the Patriots. And I don't expect the Patriots to come out fast. I mean, Kendrick Bourne might not even like. What is his deal? It's gonna be like the 5th receiver. Like, what's up with
I think he's the 4th receiver as of right now. I think he's clearly behind Myers. He's clearly behind Parker, and Aguilar's at a better camp than him. So 4.
Yeah, and that's about it. I mean,
okay, so there's a lot at stake for Peter's Tua char. It's like he has like 1,000 strikes on Tua right now. It's like I think he's got 3 strikes on Tua right now.
I don't see anybody covering Tyreek Hill either.
Okay.
Granted, I mean he probably won't get the ball thrown that far, but I don't see anybody keeping up with him. Even with that McCourty salt.
For me, Peter, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs -6.5 over the Cardinals. Another situation where the Cardinals are at home and they're heavy underdogs here, but I am very down on this Cardinals team. I've talked about it for a while now, or I think they're going to win 6-7 games. And I think the Chiefs, people are severely underrating them. I understand Tyreek Hill is no longer there, like you just mentioned him in Miami. But I think Patrick Mahomes is still the best quarterback in the NFL. He's still going to be good enough to beat the Cardinals by a touchdown. And I think this Chiefs defense is going to be better than people think. The Cardinals, they've been in complete disarray this offseason. And look, DeAndre Hopkins is going to be out for this week 1 game and along with the following 6 games. So he's out for 6 games. And I think the Cardinals are just not going to be able to put up points with the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs can win this game by 2 touchdowns. I really do. I think the Chiefs have something to prove where I think the Chiefs have been to 4 consecutive AFC title games. And everyone's talking about Buffalo like they're 3-time reigning Super Bowl champions. They're a shoe-in, lock-in, whatever you want to call it. And to me, anyway, I feel like the Chiefs are going to take it personal, especially here in week 1. Mahomes is going to take it personal. He's getting all this crap from Tyreek Hill that Tua throws a better deep ball than him. Mahomes was ranked number 8 on the NFL top 100 list, which is absurd to me. I think the Chiefs are going to take this personal, and they're going to come out swinging.
And Cardinals are hurt too. Yeah. I don't think even Zach Ertz is going to play.
Isn't Connor banged up too?
Yeah, James Conner's banged up. It's good. It's good.
Like that. Peter, I like our picks, but I feel like every time we say that, we go 0-5.
All right, cool. 0-5, 0-5.
All right, so realistically, Peter, what do we hope for 3-2?
What do we want? I mean, for me anyway, I want the Survivor to move on.
Okay.
And my lock to move on.
So you'll take 1-4, but you need your Survivor pick.
Yeah, and if I'm 1-4, that means the Patriots definitely won, and I can crap on Tua next week.
Oh, okay. All right. So Peter has different avenues about how he can go about next week's show. Interesting. Yeah, for me, I like my board. I feel pretty confident in a lot of my picks. I mean, maybe I'm going to be way off, and the Minnesota Vikings hype, they're going to get their ass kicked. They're going to lose by freaking 24, and then you're going to be like, oh, good Vikings. I'm going to be like, I don't know. But I feel like it's a good spot for these home teams to really take advantage of some situations. Like I said, I like Atlanta in Atlanta. I like Minnesota in Minnesota. I like LA in LA. I just feel like those teams have some good value. So we'll see, Peter. Next week should be a lot of fun.
Next week, we need to survive next week. Next week is so easy for Survivor.
I haven't even looked. I have not even
all
looked.
Right. Green Bay versus the Bears in Green Bay.
Okay.
Check. Or the 49ers versus the Seahawks in San Francisco. Check.
Okay, so there's a couple different. The two you mentioned are already better than this week's board. This week's board is tough. It really is. And I'm a little surprised none of us picked the Broncos over Seattle. I know it's in Seattle, so Peter, I think we made the right decision here. I'm not saying Denver's going to lose that game, but Seattle's a tough place to play.
Yeah, because I just think if they want to win one game, they're gonna
That's
win.
it, right? That's it.
Pete Carroll's gonna be like, listen. He even called Russell Wilson washed. I don't know if he was joking or not, but
And I'm sure he was joking, but Russell Wilson's in a new offense, new head coach. Might get a little emotional. You don't know. Like I don't rule out Seattle putting all their eggs in this game, and when they like you mentioned, Bill Belichick had 4 months to prepare for the Dolphins. Pete Carroll in Seattle saw Russell Wilson leave in whatever it was, March, got the schedule in whatever it was, June or May, and they were like, yeah, Russell Wilson's coming to town. They'll be ready. The fans are going to be crazy. So, yeah, I'm not saying Denver's going to lose that game. But tell you what, I wouldn't bet on Denver for the spread in that game. No shot.
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't be surprised next week you talk about Seahawks being 1-0.
Yeah, I again, everyone crapping on Geno Smith, this and that, rightfully so. But Pete Carroll is still a good coach in this league. And again, if they were to really ramp up for one game, this is the game. So we'll see how our picks are, Peter. We'll hopefully, like Peter said, we get the Survivor right. We need that one right, first and foremost. Because if we get the Survivor right, that also clinches one of our picks right. So, yeah. So we just got to get past one of those and we'll be golden.
Everything else is gravy.
Yeah, absolutely. Peter, you got anything else?
Not really. I mean, if you're surprised, I had another fantasy draft on Tuesday. I have no Mike Evans anywhere at all.
Wow.
Yeah, no. I must have did it.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I told you we'll do the Pittman for Mike Evans swap. I had a fantasy draft on Sunday. I feel like I like my team. I got mocked. Because a lot of people. I didn't go the no running back strategy, but I'll read you my starting lineup.
Right.
Tom Brady is my quarterback.
Shocker.
I got him in the 10th round, Peter. I thought it was good value.
Oh, 10th round?
Yeah, 10th round, Peter. Yeah. Alvin Kamara, Damian Harris, CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown, Dawson Knox, the tight end from Buffalo. And then here's my flex options. DJ Moore, Hunter Renfrow, Michael Thomas, James Robinson. Yeah, not bad, right?
DJ Moore, right?
DJ Moore he's currently he's.
I think he's gonna be a top 5 receiver this year.
Oh, Peter, there we go. And I got Justin. Justin pissed me off, Peter, during this draft. So I picked AJ Brown over DJ Moore. Justin chirped at me. He's like, "Oh, sleeping on DJ Moore, kid." And I'm just like, you know what? Screw you. And then the draft comes back to me because I had the 9th pick, so it came back to me on like the snake or whatever you want to call it. 6 picks later, and then I drafted DJ Moore, and I get, "Hey, buddy, I just got AJ Brown and DJ Moore." Boom, and I sat down. He's like,
Yeah, I love DJ Moore this year. I have him everywhere.
Well, I think CeeDee Lamb's gonna be great.
Oh, yeah.
I'm confident in that, and if DJ Moore, Michael Thomas, or Hunter Renfrow, if one of those guys can really, I think I'll be okay.
You have another running back other than James Robinson?
Yeah, not a good one. I have Darrell Henderson, the backup for the Rams, for Cam Akers, which it's not as bad as people think because McVay talked about how he's going to limit Cam Akers' workload a little bit. And Mark Ingram is Kamara's backup.
Oh, cool, Mark Ingram. So your team's cursed. I hate Mark Ingram.
There's a couple people on the waiver wire that I'm looking at, but I'm not going to.
You worried that Damian Harris is going to be the starter?
Peter.
And then you have nobody else. Nobody else.
It is a slight concern, but throughout the Patriots' history, they never have the bell cow back. So I'm banking on the Damian Harris to get the goal line touches, which.
What, he's gonna get 18 touchdowns again or whatever?
No, but I mean, if he gets the goal line touches, let's say every other week he gets a touchdown, I feel like I'll take that. Ramondre's banged up a week, so I feel like it'll all even out. I had an opportunity to pick one of them, and I picked Harris. So we shall see. But I got Brady in the 10th round. Good value, Peter. Good freaking value.
What are they doing?
That's what I said. I was surprised. I usually wait on the quarterbacks, and I was going to keep waiting, and I saw Brady, and I was like, screw it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my fantasy. That was my family league. So that's a competitive league, Peter. A lot of.
Who won that last year?
My aunt and uncle won it. This is the 11th year. This is the 12th year. So we've done it 11 years. I won twice and I made the playoffs 8 of 11 years.
Are you running out of space on the inscriptions on your trophy thing?
No, because there's a lot of sides. So no, not yet.
Oh, okay.
That'll be a problem in like 4 or 5 years.
Oh, okay.
So not right. It's a fun league, Peter. Fun league. See if I can win it for the third time. I got the highest winning percentage in the league.
There you go.
11 years. Damn right, Peter. Most wins, highest winning percentage, tied for the most titles, and made the playoffs 8 out of 11 years.
There you go.
No messing around, Peter. No messing around. But yeah, that's about our fantasy life. Can't wait to suck.
Oh yeah.
When
Me too.
Ramondre Stevenson gets all the goal line touches.
Yep.
Yep.
Probably.
Yeah. All right, Peter. We'll catch you next week. We'll recap the week 1 games. We'll preview and give our picks for week 2. So we'll see how we did. So fade us or follow us.
I'll follow us this time.
Damn right.
Stay hot.